sometimes people ask, why should I care? And the reality of the situation is that safe computing is everyone's responsibility. There are so many ways in which you are connected to the internet, through your phone, through your laptop, through your TV, through your video game system. Those devices need to have controls in place, protections in place, the same way you would have a lock on your door. And knowing how to use those controls and protections is sort of the first step to figuring out what you actually need.
A lot of the risks to people these days are invisible, but learning what those risks are is the first step towards making them better. Data at rest is a term in information security. It means information that's been saved to a hard drive somewhere or is on a flash drive. It is data that is at rest. It is not currently being transferred or transmitted. And that term got used in a meeting, and somebody said, "Well, that'd make a great name for a podcast." And then after that meeting, we were back in our office, and I was like, that would make a great name for a podcast. So
we should do a podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. I'm Michael Williams, and I've been with the university for 11 years. I'm the network security team lead for the information security office, and before that, I spent 10 years in private telecom doing basically the same thing.
I'm Charlie Mushaw, and I've been with UNC since 2016. I'm currently the Incident Handling and Security Operations Team Lead in the Information Security Office. Before that, I worked in the nonprofit sector as sort of a jack-of-all-trades IT guy with a security focus.
You're listening to Season 1 of Data at Rest. My favorite episode of Season 1 was probably Popular Culture. The alternative was maybe the fishing episode. Those are just two episodes that I felt like touched on what a lot of people really think of when they think of information security and the parts of information security that actually touch their lives. In Season 2, we talk about disinformation campaigns and the history of disinformation, how to recognize disinformation when you encounter it online, and how that connects to scams that you see online. In Season 2, we also talk about social media, communications, project management in information security, leadership in information security, how people come to make decisions about information security that affect others in big environments. In Season 3, we talk about the cloud and cloud security and what that really means, what people actually mean when they say the cloud.
With information security, an important piece of that is user education. I think it's important that people understand the risk and do things safely when they're working with computers and with information systems.
Season 1, we used an iPhone with a special microphone attached to it that we just had on hand, sort of as an experiment. And we would set up in a specific conference room in our office building. Then in Season 2, we got the ability to use the School of Medicine's professional sound recording booth, and there we get much better quality audio. There's a sound engineer, a team of sound engineers who make it sound much better than I possibly can. Yeah, a big important part of information security and doing a good job of reducing risk is reaching out to the community and understanding that the risks that the community faces and their perspective on the steps that are taken to reduce those risks. You can't run an information security program by edict. It has to involve the community. It has to be a cooperative process. One of the reasons people should listen to Data at Rest is that we do not approach this as a technical manual being read aloud. We try not to make it be really dry. We try to make it something that's approachable, accessible, and enjoyable to talk about.
We incorporate funny stories about the history of each topic.
But they're always an attempt to, approach the topic from regular life, rather than from the perspective of technical knowledge for the sake of technical knowledge.